Browns getting ready for the Jets today. But Mary Kay, let's start with something from week one. That is Cade York winning AFC Special Teams Player of the Week, his 58-yard field goal, of course, winning that game over the Carolina Panthers. So already, Mary Kay, Cade York bringing home the honors for his work.
Yeah, what a way to start his career in Cleveland. My goodness, the 58-yard game winner, longest in Cleveland Browns history. And then now AFC Special Teams Player of the Week. Good for him. He's enjoying the moment, and I'm sure he's going to have a very enthusiastic reception on Sunday.
And Ashley, of course, you did that big feature on Cade, so you talked to a lot of people around him. And Kevin today was asked about how Cade is sort of handling, kind of being the rock star right here. And he said he's got a good head on his shoulders. I mean, based on who you talked to and what you learned about him, is that sort of what you figured out too?
Yeah, I'm not surprised that this is kind of it's almost like a blasé sort of reaction from Cade York after that big kick, because he told me like a big part of him getting really invested into kicking when he was in high school, his personality changed over the last 5 years, that he feels like he can't get too high, he can't get too low. He comes off as a very dry, sarcastic, funny kind of guy, but he likes to stay even keel because that's what he has to do when he's on the field.
Now, we also talked to Kareem. See, I said their names together, and this is what we're trying to do, is come up with that real nickname. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, we've combined them. Mary Kay, they even spoke at their press conference together.
Yes, they did. So yes, you just renamed them Hub, but we have also been calling them Chunt. So now we've got two nicknames, one coined here right before your very eyes by Dan. But yes, absolutely, these two guys are becoming legendary now for being on the field together at the same time. We kind of counted it up. It was about a half a dozen times. Felt like more. I think they could go a little bit more with it. And there's so many different things that you can do out of those formations. And they need their best playmakers on the field.
Yeah, it was somewhere in the neighborhood of like 6 to 8 plays, depending on where you kind of look. And Ashley, the thing is, now that's something else that defensive coordinators, even if the Browns only use it that many times, it's just, another hour in a meeting or more time that they have to spend thinking about how are we going to deal with this when these two guys step on the field.
Yeah, and I think you saw it on that first Kareem touchdown there, when they had both of them on the field at the same time, and Kareem was wide open. So I think it gets really hard to game plan for both of those guys, and especially like we've talked about, game planning for Kareem Hunt, because it's like, what defender do you throw at him when you don't know whether he's running or going to be involved in the pass game or be a lead blocker? So it makes things more difficult.
And then, of course, Jacoby Brissett spoke today because it is Wednesday. He is the starting quarterback. And Mary Kay, the thing that kind of stuck out is the misses, right? He had those two big misses, one to Amari Cooper, one to Kareem Hunt. And, Kevin said there's throws that he can make and will make moving forward. And Jacoby seems confident he can make those throws too.
Yes, well, let's hope for Jacoby's sake that Amari Cooper is back on the practice field and will be able to play in this game. He was not out there today. I'm sure he's probably fine. We don't have the explanation yet, but you're right. Jacoby's going to have to be able to spread it around to some different receivers. David Njoku was not involved. David Bell was not involved. A lot of these guys, just really were not in the game plan as much as they will be going forward. Of course, Donovan Peoples-Jones had a game-high 11 targets, caught 6, so he's got that. But they have to diversify.
And a couple guys maybe hinting that not playing in the preseason did sort of slow the offense down. Ashley, I mean, how much faith do you have in Jacoby moving forward that, even if he can make one of those throws a game, that's going to help this offense?
Yeah, I mean, I still think there is a ceiling here that Jacoby in this offense can reach. And I think for me, the prime example was on that first drive. The Browns had to burn an early timeout like 2 plays in because there was some confusion about where guys were supposed to be lining up. So those are things I think that you eventually eliminate. Now, some of those throws that he missed, I think maybe he's just never going to be able to make those throws, given we know who Jacoby Brissett is. But I do think there is some hope here that these guys will gel together a little bit better, given all of the preseason absences.
All right, a whole week of practice ahead of us here as the Browns will open their home schedule against the Jets on Sunday at 1. We'll cover everything at cleveland.com/Browns.